W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Florida Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline, report number 2430, with a release date of Friday, May 24th, 2024, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A network breach at ARRL causes severe disruptions. WWVB is at half power following antenna damage and using WinLink for fun and games. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline, report number 2430, comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, W8VPV.
As Newsline went to production, users of the ARRL's Logbook of the World and the ARRL Learning Center were struggling with a service disruption following what the League described as, quote, a serious incident involving access to our network and headquarters-based systems, end quote. The ARRL posted on its website a reassurance that its member database contains only details that are available from public records, such as name, address, and call signs, adding that no credit card information or other sensitive information is stored. The ARRL did not address requests from Newsline and other media for clarification of the cause of the security breach, adding only that it was giving highest priority to having industry experts resolve the issue. And
W8VPV, repeater TL110.9.
A service provider is creating interference on the S-band. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, has those details.
Omnispace, which has plans for building a global mobile network through a satellite constellation, has criticized Starlink Satellite's own direct-to-device network for creating what a top executive calls a noise floor that renders their own customers' services useless. According to a report on the Space.com website, SpaceX had previously written to Omnispace and the FCC about coordinating the frequencies of their respective systems, but that exchange has yet not taken place. SpaceX David Goldman asked Omnispace Mindel de la Torre in early May to provide empirical evidence of the claimed interference. Goldman also questioned whether Omnispace may not be coordinating frequencies as required by the International Telecommunications Union or the FCC because it is licensed out of Papua New Guinea. Omnispace operates several low and medium Earth satellites experimentally, but intends to build a 600-satellite constellation. The company has previously been critical of SpaceX, most recently of its partnership with the U.S. division of the cellular network, T-Mobile. In March, the Federal Communications Commission coverage from space. under which direct-to-device satellite services are considered secondary to primary frequency allocations on the 2 GHz band. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
A new law is about to make California the newest U.S. state, giving consumers better access to repairing electronics that they purchase in that state. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, brings us that story.
A law that takes effect on July 1st in California will require the makers of consumer electronics to offer purchasers of those products, along with service dealers and repair facilities, a means to repair them by providing guides, parts, and tools for a period between 3 to 7 years after the manufacturing date, depending on the item's original wholesale price. The new right to repair law brings California in line with a growing push in other states for similar legislation. According to the website of the Reinhardt legal firm, 30 other states have introduced similar legislation. 2 other states, New York and Minnesota, have similar consumer electronics laws already in effect. A right to repair law in Colorado covers agricultural equipment. The new California law will apply to all electronics sold there as far back as July 2021. The law excludes video game consoles and alarm systems, neither of which is considered an, quote, electronic or appliance product, end quote. According to the website of the Sidley Austin Law Group, similar measures are in the works in Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Texas, Vermont, and Washington. The bill was introduced last year by State Senator Susan Talamantes Eggman as a means of reducing electronic waste and improving California residents' opportunities to repair or have repaired broken products. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
In the United States, the timekeeping radio station WWVB is providing its essential information on reduced power following storm damage to one of its antennas. Travis Lisk, N3ILS, gives us an update.
Wind damage to half of its phased array antenna has left radio station WWVB operating at reduced power outside Fort Collins, Colorado. The winds that struck the south antenna in early April were estimated to be higher than 90 miles per hour. The National Institute of Standards and Technology operates the timekeeping site. People throughout North America rely on WWVB's broadcasts to synchronize their watches, clock radios, and other consumer electronics. It is also used for accurate time synchronization and for timekeeping applications in appliances, cameras, and irrigation controllers. Since the wind damage occurred, the station has broadcast using its north antenna only and on reduced power. The NIST explained the change in an announcement recorded on the 11th of May and posted on YouTube. There is also a notice on the NIST website. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
A well-respected and much-loved YL, active in contesting and DXing, and an advocate for international friendship, has become a silent key in the Philippines. We hear more about her life from John Williams, VK4JJW.
Teresa Cruz Aniceto, DW3TRZ, was an award-winning contester, a mentor to many, and a special friend to YLs with whom she shared her talents in needlework, taking time to craft ham radio-related gifts and cross-stitched QSLs for hams around the world. Teresa maintained an active YouTube channel called Mabuhay DX Stitch Amateur Radio, which she established to promote worldwide friendship through ham radio. Teresa died on May 18 of pancreatic cancer, according to the Philippine Amateur Radio Association, and her friend Ann Dirkman, KC9YL, who supported Teresa in joining the US-based Young Ladies Radio League as a DX member. Newsline listeners got to hear about Teresa's talents in an interview on Amateur Radio Newsline in 2018, and readers of the ARRL's QST magazine got to know her better in a January 2020 member spotlight feature article. In the Philippines, Mabuhay is a wish for a good life. Teresa Cruz Aniceto, who said that word often to friends, surely had one herself. She was 49. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
A leader and mentor among CW operators in Ireland has become a silent key. We hear more about him from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The name and call sign of Leo McHugh, EI8BR, was well known among CW operators in Ireland and was a frequent entry in the logs of CW operators around the world. Leo, who died last month, shared his love of the code with anyone who asked. He's credited as the organizer and promoter of CW training sessions offered at the South Dublin Radio Club, where he'd been a member for many years. Daniel Cousin, EI9FHB, told Newsline in an email that Leo was, quote, a hard but fair taskmaster in CW training, and his patience was often sorely tested by his students. His favorite expression of, do it right, lads, was often repeated in these classes, end quote. Over the years, his instruction helped many club members get their A-class license for CW. The Irish Radio Transmitter Society awarded him 2020 for his training program. A civil engineer and a self-taught trumpet player, Leo had a CW fist that many envied for its speed and skill, even for a radio operator in his 90s. He was a contributor to the Irish Radio Transmitter Society news publication, Echo Ireland, and would often read the weekly IRTS broadcast news. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
May 31st is the deadline for nominations to be in for this year's Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Let Newsline United States and be 18 years of age or younger. Tell our judges about your nominee's talent, promise, and commitment to community and the spirit of ham radio. This is your chance to help honor and acknowledge that person who will, no doubt, go on to teach and inspire others. Find the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. Remember that we cannot accept any nominations after May 31st. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including Reflector 91C every Wednesday night at 9:30 UTC or 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, followed by a short net from VK3PG, the 91C Group Coordinator. The recipients of this year's Amateur Radio Software Award have been announced, and we learn who they are from CellMB, KB3 TZD.
The 5th Annual Amateur Radio Software Award has been awarded to the hams behind two innovative open-source software projects, OpenWebRx and OpenWebRx Plus. The project
W8VPV. Repeater.
Innovative, free, and open software that enhances amateur radio. The leader of the OpenWebRx project is Jacob Ketterl, DD5JFK. OpenWebRx can be operated from any web browser on a computer with network access and has no need for additional client software. The SDR receiver was designed with a simple interface to make it easy for inexperienced people to experience HF reception. The leader of the OpenWebRx Plus project is Murat Fazulin, KC1TXE. OpenWebRx Plus is Linux software that contains various decoders to be used with OpenWebRx, providing access to SSTV, AIS, CW, and RTTY. It is considered a fork of the OpenWebRx project, which means it uses the source code of the original project to expand upon it. This is CellMB, KB3, TZD.
Plans are moving forward for Radio Orienteering Championships later this year, as we hear from Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
Organizers of this year's USA Radio Orienteering Championships have announced that they have been approved for a permit to hold the 2-meter classic at the Eddy Discovery Center at the Waterloo Recreation Area in Michigan. The race will be among several challenges taking place at a variety of venues during the week-long event, which includes practice sessions and training camps, as well as cultural and dinner outings. The championships are being held between the 5th and 13th of October. The USA Championships are being held in combination with the IARU Region 2 Biennial ARDF Championships. The USA Events competition age categories range from 10 and younger to older radio operators 80 and above. The championships are being organized by the Southern Michigan Orienteering Club and a number of ham radio clubs throughout the southeastern part of the state. For additional details, see the web link provided in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. This is Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
Organizers of a special event marking this year's World Cup Cricket Tournament are inviting hams to get on the air while the games are going on. Cell MB KB3 TZD tells us how to do that.
You don't have to know how to play cricket to be part of this tournament. The World Cup of Cricket Tournament Special Event Station needs operators who live in the countries and states where the competition will take place starting on the 2nd of June. The station will be on the air until the 29th of June. Amateurs from the U.S. and the Caribbean are being invited to get involved by getting on the air. The teams will play at 6 in the Caribbean for a total of 55 matches. One of the stadiums is a new one in New York where amateurs in that region, members of the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club, are organizing the special event using the call sign W2C. Hams will operate on all HF bands using all modes. To become an activator, contact Lou, NO2C, at the email address in the text version of this week's Newsline script. This is LMB, KB3, TZD.
Young amateurs will be getting a unique opportunity to experience a DXpedition without ever leaving home. Kevin Trotman, N5, PRE, has the details.
Young amateurs will be operating radios in the Pacific remotely this November, joining the 3D2Z Rotuma DXpedition as remote operators. The Pacific Islands DXpedition Group has partnered with Youth on the Air Americas to give young activators a taste of the challenge. Coordination and scheduling of the remote operation by the Yoda team will be done by Case W0AAE, a freshman aerospace engineer major at Iowa State University and the 2023 recipient of the Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Memorial Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award. He is an active member of RHR, Remote Ham Radio. Yoda Camp Director Neil Raff, WB9VPG, said that the partnership presented a great opportunity for the young operators to be on the receiving end of a DXpedition pileup. Rotuma remote stations will be established for the Yoda team using 2 radios in a box provided by DXpedition organizer Greg, W6IZT. Greg said he hoped that at least 3/4 of the DXpedition remote contacts will be made by the Yoda operators. The 6-member DXpedition team itself will be operating from the island. The DXpedition is scheduled for November 15th through December 4th. This is Kevin Trotman, N5, PRE.
In the world of DX, the Rushy Hill Radio Society MN0UTP will be commemorating the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings, which took place on June 6, 1944. Operators will be using the call sign GB8DDY between the 1st and 28th of June. There will be no QSL cards, but certificates will be available. See QRZ.com for details. 4X2DS will be active from the shores of the Dead Sea between the 30th of May and the 3rd of June. The shoreline is 440 meters below sea level, making it the planet's lowest land-based elevation. For QSL details, see QRZ.com. A certificate will be available. Listen between the 31st of May and the 2nd of June for members of the Kuala Lumpur DX team. They will be on Kapus Island, IOTA number AS073 in West Malaysia using the call sign 9M4IOTA. They will be using CW, sideband, and digital modes on 80 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for details. Hams who need to send email using only radio frequencies understand the power of WinLink, especially when the messages they send and receive contain vital information during an earthquake, hurricane, or some other emergency. Now, WinLink is showing its more playful side.
Five-letter word. Operator who's also a fan of WinLink, you're in even more luck. Meet WinLink Skill Sharp while engaging in a Wordle-style game. Now in its second year, Hamword has won fans in at least 22 countries, and more than 5,700 individual games have been played, according to recent statistics provided by QRZ.com forum by Mark Klein, N5HZR, Hamword's developer. There's room for more people to get in the... One of the 50 states have become involved so far. Since it's only a game, you don't have to be near your rig to play. You can use the Telnet interface to the WinLink Hamword, one word. You still need a ham license and a functioning WinLink account, though. Mark said that he has great hopes had the simple purpose at the outset of helping people with their WinLink proficiency. His feeling about the support that Hamword has gained can best be described by a 5-letter word, G-R-E-A-T. Great! To learn more, visit the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Don't forget the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. If you're not too busy tuning your antennas or chasing the latest DXpedition, pick up a pencil and share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entered form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to the Amateur Radio Weekly, Ann Dirkman, KC9YL, ARRL, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, Daniel Custon, EI9FHB, DX World, Facebook, 425DX News, Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club, Hamword, HomingIn.com, Irish Radio Transmitter Society, NIST's website, Philippine Amateur Radio Association, QRZ.com, Rich Gordon, K0EB, Secure... and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization. arnewsline.org, and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, W8VPV in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Set to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. Let me turn this down. Excuse me, please. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. amateur radio operators for the purposes of exchanging amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep our members up to date about local club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements and ask for check-ins for any club member or officer who has an announcement of general interest for the club. Once that's complete, we'll take check-ins 5 at a time, confirming the call sign before we move on to the next one. When I work those 5, we'll get another 5 call signs and go from there. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give me your call, repeated phonetically, followed by your name and location. When all check-ins have been worked, I'll repeat the announcements and then close the net. I also want to remind you that we operate an HF plus 6 band exploration net starting at 9:30 p.m. The approximate frequencies are posted on our web page and will be announced on this repeater immediately prior to 9:30. Tonight we'll be on 80 meters at approximately 3.827. QRM will dictate the exact frequency. I'll try to give it on this repeater just before the net starts. So please join us if you have the privileges and the equipment. Alrighty, coming up here, officer nominations for the 2024-2025 club year are still open. We have 5 positions. All of the officers, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and radio officer. There's a link in the W8VPV News for You section of our website that's going to be on the left-hand side. It's dated April 22nd, so you may have to scroll down to find it. And that's got a link to a page to do nominations. You may nominate any qualified club member as long as you have their permission. Check with them first, make sure they're willing to serve. And you may nominate yourself, assuming you've checked with yourself and you're willing to serve. There's another link in the same location, the News for You section, that will allow you to see who's currently nominated. Nominations will close immediately prior to the June 12th meeting, at which point we will have the officer election. The new slate of officers will take their positions immediately. This Saturday, June 1st, Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will activate the O'Neill Woods area of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. This is being done in conjunction with at least 4 other Northeast Ohio ham clubs, and we encourage you to come out and get involved. Setup starts around 11:30 a.m., and Jim, if you're in there, correct me if I got this wrong. Setup starts about 11:30 a.m., and operations will run from 1 to 5 p.m., It's an excellent opportunity, especially for newer hams, to come out, socialize, get some operating experience, and get used to portable operations. In other words, how to get an antenna set up in a wilderness area. We will be providing shelters, stations, food, drinks, and the park has nearby restrooms. In order to provide the correct amount of food and drink required, please contact Jim Berry, WA3JAT, by email, his call, WA3JAT@AOL.com, and let us know you're coming. Again, an excellent opportunity. All right, Sunday, June 2nd, the club's Board of Governments will meet at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom video conference system. The link can be found in the calendar section of the club website. Club members and all other interested parties are invited and encouraged to sit in and contribute their thoughts and ideas as plans for the club's summer activities are discussed and voted upon. I don't have a full agenda, but I'm sure field day will be one of the topics. This is the club members' chance to give us some guidance and let us know what you want to do. The Board of Governors is made up of the 5 club officers and 3 trustees, and basically helps steer the club for various activities. Saturday, June 9th, is the Breeze Shooters Ham Fest in Butler, Pennsylvania. As with so many ham fests, it suffered a decline in participation during the COVID years and has struggled to recover, but last year was significantly larger than the previous year, and I'm looking forward to going this year. It's back to its original location. If you've been there before, you'll remember there's a small single-strip dirt airfield out there, and planes come in and out of there all day. Monday, June 10th, the club will hold a VE test session for all licensed classes at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library. Pre-registration online is required, and cutoff is going to be early this time because of some people being out of town. You must register before 10 a.m. Sunday, June 9th. Also, if you are registered, please be at the library by 6:15 Monday to complete enrollment. The test will start promptly at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, June 12th will be our June activity meeting, our gathering. We'll be holding officer elections, both online and in person. We'll be discussing final plans for field day, and we'll probably have some updates about the club and what's going to be happening this summer. Finally, Saturday and Sunday, June 22nd, 23rd is field day. We'll be operating at Stowe's Silver Spring Park with a multi-station, multi-mode configuration using sideband FT8 and CW. This is an excellent opportunity for new hams to come out and see lots of radios, lots of antennas, setup techniques, problem circumvention, and to get to meet other club members and even get on the air and get some club experience, or operating experience, excuse me. I urge you to mark your calendar and plan to get involved, both on the air and supporting the effort. We need volunteers to do silly things like get us food and things like that. There is a sign-up link, and again, in the W8VPV News for You section of our website, this time dated April 30th. Dig it out and click on it, and please sign up and help us. Looking ahead, we can expect monthly meetings July 10th, that's the second Wednesday, August 14th, also a second Wednesday, and the club picnic we're tentatively scheduling for August 28th. Stay tuned, we'll have more announcement on that as time comes along. Finally, I was going to have a trivia contest for this net, but because this is Memorial Day, I'd like to focus on the meaning and significance of the event. If you check in and you've got a friend or a relative that gave their all, please let us know who they were and maybe even what war, what battle they were in. Again, we've got to stop at this point and remember that the freedoms we have are anything but free. There are a lot of people out there that paid for our freedoms with everything they had. Okay, this is W8V.
Repeater, timeout. Time. Repeater. Out.
Apologize. Let me get the last part of this in here just so everybody knows. I was going to do a trivia question, but because this is Memorial Day, I'd like to focus on the significance of the day and to let people announce if you have a family member or friend who's given their all for the freedoms we have today, please tell us who they were and maybe even what war they were in. We are reminded on a day like this that the freedoms we have were anything but free. All right, then. Do we have any officers or members with announcements of general interest for the club? Go ahead now.
W3X with an announcement.
Go ahead.
Yes, President Gregg has mentioned that for the June 12th meeting, for us each to bring one canned good to the church building there as a token of appreciation. And regarding veterans, my father and all my uncles that were in World War II made it back okay. I haven't lost any people in any of the wars. So with that, back to the net, this is W3X.
All right, thank you very much, John. I got you checked in also. If you've got something else for the net, please come on back in. And thank you for that reminder. Yes, on the June 12th meeting, please bring a can, maybe some dry food, spaghetti or pasta or something like that. And let's contribute it to the people that don't have as much as we do have. Thanks, John. Appreciate the check-in. Do we have any other officers and or members with announcements of general interest?
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
AC8XO. Go ahead, Vince.
I caught the tail end of your announcement, but I figured it's time now to say the end of the month is nigh, and if anybody wants to go and contribute, that would be a wonderful thing. And especially the education person who usually takes care of our testing. If I had something to put into the newsletter, I could have got that in May, and I could get it in now in June. Other than that, Frank, that's all I got. Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar, back to net.
Okay, Vince, just to clarify, I thought our education coordinator was going to write an article about the VE test session at the Hamfest. Am I hearing that did not occur?
I haven't seen anything in my inbox. I will look again, but most of the stuff that I get is from either Anthony or you. Other than that, that's about it. Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
Okay, Vince, I'll check with him. I'm doing the VE session coming up here because I know he's going to be out of town for a week, but I will check with him, and I will try to get something in there about field day. And again, it's just a super opportunity, so if you're a new ham out there, even if you're not a club member, please come on out. You'll have an opportunity to see CW sideband, FT8 in operation, various antennas, and will be operating for a full 24-hour period of time. So if you want to get on the air, we'll give you a chance to do that. And if you have a newsletter article or you have a suggestion for the newsletter editor, please send him something. He could use it. All right, thanks, Vince. Have a good one. I got you checked in here. Check in again if you have anything else for the net. Do you have any other people with comments of general interest for the net?
AC8XO recheck.
Vince?
It was, you mentioned field day. I'm concerned about the VE session.
I'm going to have to go look ahead and see if there's a conflict or not. I have not talked to Jim in the last week or so, so I don't know. He was down at Dayton last weekend.
No, he hasn't written anything about the VE session. That was my concern. Field day, you and Anthony got everything taken care of on that generally, but on the VE session, there was nothing there in May and or in June.
Okay, I will reach out to him when I get done here and get him to do something there. Thanks very much. Appreciate it, Vince.
No problem, Frank. Thanks. AC8XO. Clear.
Do we have any other officers or members with announcements of general information? Right, hearing none then, let's go with call signs. Give me 5 call signs, one at a time. I'll confirm when I get it down properly in the log. I have trouble hearing anymore. And if you're just in and out, tell me so, and we'll go right on, and then we'll go back and catch the check-ins, and we'll work them 5 at a time. Go ahead now, please.
W8KL checking in. N8ACP, Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
Okay, I got Ken, I got Chris. Go ahead next.
AG8YAX.
Okay, I got you, Forrest, and there's somebody underneath. Go ahead, the other station.
8HMS.
K8HMS. Got you, Steve. Next.
K2.
Got you, Larry. Okay, I got 5 people here. Let's head back up to the top. Good evening, Ken. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, good evening. Been quite a while since I've checked in. On the DX front, W8KL, there's a very important de-expedition of FT4GL and Glorioso Island. They're there until, I believe, around mid-June, but they've been very hard to work for me. I have a pretty decent antenna up, but I was calling them for 3 hours on FT8 on 10 meters today. I finally broke through. I do have a contact with them on 15. So I'm looking forward to contacting them on all the other bands. There was a comment on Newsline about the ARRL snafu. They aren't answering their phones. You can't get through that way. I emailed them 3 times about my own personal DX information. W8KL for ID. They're not answering emails. I wonder if any official person from the club has contacted them or been in contact about what's going on over there. And as far as the POTA operation on June 1st, I think that's at the Deer Run Trailhead. That's their own, O'Neill Woods, that's their only parking lot that I know of. I've hiked that over the last 30-some years. I've hiked that trail. I believe that's where it's at. Somebody may want to clarify me. That's at the entrance of the Metro Park. And that's about it. There's a lot of good DX on, and the bands took a dive for a day or two. And the Hamvention, by the way, was in Xenia, Ohio. I don't think if you went to Dayton, you'd be lost trying to find it. W8KL.
Very good, Ken. Yeah, about 6 years ago now, the former place just, they were a little bit back on their taxes and they couldn't go on. And you're right, it's been moved to Xenia since then. So I still call it Dayton because it is the Dayton area, but you're right, it's Xenia, and it's at the Greene County Fairgrounds, and they're probably about 20 minutes away from Dayton. But that is the way it is. Thanks for the info on the DXpedition. If anybody's into DXing, that's going to be a hard one to get, so by all means, give it a try. And I've been out to O'Neill Woods, and I know it's been titled O'Neill Woods, but I didn't know which trail system was part of. But if you find yourself out that way Saturday on the 1st, by all means, Ken, stop on by. Love to hear from you and get you on the air for a few minutes then. Appreciate that. All right, next up, N8ACP. Go ahead, Chris.
Frank, thanks for taking my call, and evening to everybody on the net. The previous caller was correct. The upper bands are rough there for a couple days. Some geomagnetic stuff coming through again as the sun continues spinning around. But they're clearing up, and then they'll get worse again. I picked up the usual suspects on the high bands: Panama, Arizona, England, Oklahoma, Dominican Republic, Cyprus, and for the first time, the NASA Kennedy Space Center. NASA is running an event where it's NASA on the air. So you'll hear Houston and Kennedy and some of the other space centers on the air. Also looking forward next weekend to the Museum Ships on the Air weekend event. Myself and others will be up operating on the USS Cod submarine. That's Sierra 224. So if you hear us, come on back to us, and if you'd like to help, my email is good on QRZ, and I can put you in touch with the chief radio officer that's doing the scheduling. Maybe that would make a good newsletter article. Certainly some great pictures for sure. Hope everybody had a thoughtful and mindful Memorial Day. Cheers in 7-3, Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Very good, Chris. Thank you very much. Appreciate that information there. Yeah, I've toured the COD 2 or 3 times, once in Scouts, I remember that. Once as a young adult, I think I was probably 22, 23, and a girl I was dating's father served on the COD at the time and wanted me to tour it. I'm afraid today I might get caught in one of the portals or one of the entranceways. I remember it was fairly tight when I was a young, slender guy, and I'm just not sure I could make it now. But that's great to hear. And, yeah, if you put some time up there operating and want to do a couple of pictures and submit the story to our newsletter editor, I'm sure a lot of club members here would be delighted in seeing what you're doing. So please, Chris, feel free to. Thank you very much. Appreciate that then. All right, next up, KD8YAX. Forrest, go ahead.
Good evening, y'all. God bless y'all. My name is Forrest, and my call sign is KD8YAX.
All right, thank you very much, Forrest. You're coming through loud and clear tonight. I don't know if you've got 80-meter capability on your radio, but as I say, our station is 80 meters later tonight, and we'd love to hear you in there. Thanks for checking in, and as I say, June 12th will be the next meeting. I'll pick you up and run you in there again about 6:30 in the evening. All right, next up, Steve, K8HMS. How you doing?
Hey, hi, Frank. KHMS. Yeah, good evening to you, good evening to everybody. And, thoughts with the servicemen this Memorial Day. I had uncles in World War II, grandfather in World War I, so got a lot of service guys here in the family. But and then I was an old Army guy too, back in the day. So anyway, that's about it. Thanks for running the net. We'll hopefully see you on 80 meters. And I guess that's about all I can think of now. Back to net, KHMS.
All right, very good, Steve. Good hearing you in there. And I didn't mention it. My grandfather was Marine. He was a typist, clerk typist in his unit. And World War I, he was down in I think it's Camp Lejeune, and his unit was ordered to board a ship, and they ended up heading over to Britain. And halfway across the Atlantic, World War I came to an end. So they ended up arriving in Britain with nothing to do, stayed on the ship for about 8 or 10 days, refueled it, and he went right back home. So he technically, I don't think, was ever in Britain. But very good. All right, thanks, Steve. Appreciate the check-in then. Next up, K8PU. Larry, good evening, sir.
Hey, everybody on the net. Yeah, this is fine Memorial Day. Nobody lost in my family. My father was taken prisoner at the Battle of the Bulge and spent the last 5 months in German prison camp and almost died. There was no TV. My mother used to sit and cry, listen to the reports on the radio because he was only listed as missing in action. We didn't know he was alive until he was sprung at the end of the war. So that was what happened with us. And as for me, I just joined the Marine Corps peacetime between Korea and Vietnam and saw no action. I was lucky. But anyways, thanks for the service, all you guys, and some gave some and some gave all. So we got to be proud of them and thankful for that. Back to you, Frank. W8VPV, K8PU.
Thank you very much, Larry, and glad he was finally able to make it home. I know that happened with a lot of families. Worry and trepidation turned into absolute joy when they realized that their family member had survived the war. So, all right then, I'm at the bottom of my list, so I'm looking for 5 more check-ins. Call sign only. Go ahead now.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo. No traffic.
Okay, I got KB8 PHK. No traffic. Next.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Foxtrot Tango.
All right, I've got KF8 BFT. What's your name, sir?
William, new member.
All right, good to hear you in there. I'll get right back to you. Next, please.
88 KVI in and out.
All right, Ron, got you in and out. Thanks. Next, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha Victor Delta, Tony down the Merriman Valley.
All right, got you, Tony. Thanks. Next.
Kilo X, Mike Zulu, Marcus Whitford, in and out, no traffic.
All right, I got you in and out then. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it then. Do we have another check-in? All right, I will go back up then. Let's see here. KF8 BFT. William, go ahead, sir, and welcome to the club. And welcome, the call sign says you've got a brand new call, so welcome to the hobby.
Thank you. Just wanted to let you know that, yeah, I am a new member. I had tried to sign in last week. I did, but I think I had a little bit of mic fright going on. But other than that, I've recently signed up for the field day. Looking forward to that experience. As it's all been said that it's the best place to learn. And I'm currently studying for moving up in my license. I'm studying for the general right now. I've been doing some work on my tower. Other than that, everything's good. Cut some grass today. So back to the net.
about 18 years ago, I went out to field day for my first time, and it was an excellent experience, and I've done a field day every year since then. It's been just a lot of fun, and you will see radios, you will see antennas, you will see towers, you'll see mast poles, you'll see all sorts of setups and different modes, and it's lots of good food and lots of good people. So congratulations and welcome to the hobby, and we'll catch you down the page. Look forward to seeing you out at field day. All right, KE8 KVI Ron was in and out. Next up, KF8 Alpha Victor Delta. Tony, go ahead, sir.
Thanks. Don't really have anything new. Just wanted to also make all the new techs aware of the upcoming June VHF contest that we can all take participant in. And Ted, if you're going to be at the POTA or field day, please look me up, and we will try and get over that mic right together.
Very good, very good. And again, this weekend we have a Parks on the Air activation out at O'Neill Woods in the Cuyahoga Valley. It's on the west side of the Cuyahoga Valley, about 10-15 minutes from, probably 20 minutes from downtown Cuyahoga Falls. Nice wooded area. We'll have a canopy there, a small generator way off in the background running, a couple of radios, a couple of antennas thrown up, and just a fun afternoon of reaching out to other, not only just parks, I think we're one of about 4 or 5, but also other stations, making contacts and logging them, and it's a great way to learn how to tune sideband, because you don't run into a lot of that in the technician. You can do it certainly up on the high bands, but this will be down mostly on the low bands. And then, of course, it's a good primer for field day, which is, I think everybody should attend at least one field day, and many people become hooked, and it becomes a way of life. So very good then. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate the check-in. Let's see here. KF8MZ was in and out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take people one at a time. Being a Memorial Day, I realize a lot of people are celebrating this with their families, and that's an awesome thing. So we'll take you one at a time. Who else is out there? This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night VHF UHF net. I heard somebody in there in the middle of the repeater identifying itself. I didn't get the call. Go ahead again. All right. Do we have any other check-ins? This may be one of my smallest nets ever, but I fully understand it being a holiday. Just so happens my family did their Memorial Day celebration yesterday. Do we have any last check-ins? This is W8VPV.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Papa X-Ray.
All right, I got KE8 Zulu Papa X-Ray. I recognize the call. I can't put a name on it yet. Go ahead with your name and, let us know what's going on.
Hey, Frank, this is Jesse. I hope everybody's having a good Memorial Day weekend. I'm kind of looking forward to field day. I do want to attend, and I don't have much else to say. That'd be great.
Very good, very good. Field day. I recommend any new ham. Find a local club, even if it's not us. If you're anywhere you can hear me, find your local club and go out and just watch what's happening for field day. You'll see. It's a learning experience, and it's a super cool experience because you meet a lot of neat guys and a lot of interesting technology. And so I definitely enjoyed it. Well, thanks very much. I certainly appreciate the check-in then. Do we have anybody else out there? This is W8VPV. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up.
W8KL for a recheck.
Hello, John, with a question.
Okay, I got Ken, W8KL for recheck. Ken, I'll get you a second. And there's somebody else under there. I heard John with a question. Go ahead.
It's John Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Kilo. I missed the announcements about POTA and where the field day is being held at.
Okay, very quickly, we're doing parks activation. First, let me give you our website, because all of this information is on our website. It's cfarc.org. This Saturday, we're doing Parks on the Air activation at Oakwood on the west side of the Cuyahoga Valley. We'll have food and drink there. I'm guessing around 11:30 or so. I think the on-air operations start about 1 o'clock and go to 5. We'll have a canopy there. I have no idea what the weather's going to be, but that's the fun of operating outdoors. Love to see you out there. Just watch what's happening. If you're interested in logging, we can sit you down and get you logging. And if you want to get on the air and operate, that's certainly welcome too. So by all means, don't miss that. And of course, our field day is during the annual field day. It's the 22nd and 23rd of June. We'll be out at Silver Springs Park on what's called Groundhog Hill. That's up in Stowe. There's two sides to the park. We're on the, let me think, so we're on the east side of the park. And there are links and maps on our website, and if you attend our club meeting on the 12th, either in person or in Zoom, we'll get you a lot more information about that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Very good, thank you.
And KE8VHT, I'm sorry, I got you down here without anything else. Go ahead. KE8VHT, did I get you checked in? Is there anybody else out there for checking in? Otherwise, we'll run through the announcements real quick, and I'm going to get out of here.
KN6WRU.
W8KL for a recheck.
What's the prefix, sir, and your name?
W8KL for a recheck.
I'm sorry, Ken, I got you in there. The other station, WRU, go ahead and give me your name and call, and I'll get back to you right away. I'm dropping the ball here.
KN6WRU.
Okay, KN6WRU, stand by. I promised Ken I'd handle a recheck here. Go ahead, Ken.
No problem. I'm looking at the map of O'Neill Woods. Its address is 2550 Martin Road. I believe that is where Deer Run Trailhead is, and there's a couple picnic tables there and a latrine, I guess. I'm guessing that's where you guys will be at.
Without looking, I could not say for sure. I'm going to have to, the link to the location is on our website, and I'm going to have to refer you to that right now.
It'd be 2550 Martin Road as far as I know. Okay, and did anyone from the club on an official basis or vice versa, ARRL to the club, have any interaction about this outage of a lot of things going on there at the league?
Quick answer, and I don't know anything more than I've read. I'm sure the ARRL is going crazy trying to resolve this. I do not know if it's a ransom attack and they're demanding payment to get their database back or not. And having worked in IT for many years, I know when this kind of thing happens, you don't say anything about it until you know exactly what's going on, and it usually takes several days to figure out what people have done to you and what it takes to get back. So the answer is I do not know anything more about it, and I've not talked to the ARRL. I figure they're going to let me know when they know what's going on, and it's not going to do any good to bother them in advance. So I apologize, Ken. That's all I really know.
Okay. I would think that Greg would probably have had some interaction or something, possibly. Okay, but possibly not. Okay, thank you very much, and if I may, weather providing, I may try to get out there at on June 1st. W8KL. Thank you, and have a safe rest of the holiday, and stay safe and all that kind of stuff. W8KL, thanks for running the net.
All right, very good, Ken. Have yourself a great weekend, or what's remaining of it, and hope to see you out there if you can make it. Okay, KN6WRU. Go ahead, please. I apologize. I didn't get you the first time.
Hi, KN6WRU. This is Carol, and this is my first net.
Oh, very good, Carol. Appreciate you checking in there. Fantastic. I think I know who you are. Well, maybe not. I would think you would have, if you're the person I'm thinking of, you would have checked into your local nets at home. But anyway, good to hear you in there. Do you have anything to add to our net tonight?
I had a wonderful trip with my brother and other members of your club at the Hamvention this year, and I am gaining my experiences, and I appreciate your club's effort to bring us new hams into the world of ham.
Awesome, Carol. I do know who you are, and it's always a pleasure to talk to a new ham. And all I can say is when you get back home, get involved in field day. If they do parks on the air, get involved in those. If they do fox hunting, get involved in that. It's to me, the amateur radio license is the door to a whole range of hobbies, from satellite communications to DXing to fox hunting to park activation to islands on the air. The list is almost infinite, all of which involves one aspect or another of ham radio. So congratulations on getting that license, and make it more than just something to put on your wall in a frame. Make it do something for you. So very good then. Thank you, Carol. Good seeing you the other day at lunch, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you. Back to net.
All right, this is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night VHF UHF net. Do we have any more check-ins?
N8PZL.
N8PZL. Good evening, Jim. Just got I found your email about an hour ago. Yes, I can do the VE session on the 10th. I will talk to you about it next Friday. I think that'll be it. Just to make sure I got all the details down and everything, and just line me up some VEs for the team, and we'll be ready to go.
Okay, then currently we have 3 people registered, and the 4th person is going to register as soon as they get their FRN, and it should be a small group, so it'll probably be you and 3 other VEs.
Okay, sounds good, and you never know, if more come in, we'll get them set up. I did announce at the front of the net, and I'll announce it again, that the cutoff is a little bit early this Sunday at 10 a.m. Also, Vince was in there earlier asking about newsletter articles. If you could find a newsletter article for him, I'm sure he would appreciate it. Maybe even the VE session at the Hamfest.
Actually, this year I did not participate in the 2-day VE session there at Dayton, and I didn't last year either. So I'll come up with a newsletter article though. So N8PZO, back to net.
All right, thanks, Jim. Yeah, I was referring to your VE sessions, the one at our Hamfest, not Dayton. I'm sorry for the confusion there. The net at our Hamfest and/or recent nets, just something. I hate to say this, a filler for the newsletter. Very good then. All right, thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club. Do we have any other check-ins?
W3X recheck.
Go ahead, John.
Yes, Greg, WB8YYS, operating as W80DJ, announced during the Aries net that, and it was the same announcement as last Monday,
that the ARRL experienced a cyber attack, and so the ARRL Learning Center and Logbook of the World are offline at this time.
All right, appreciate that, John. I hope, Ken, if you're in there, you got that. The answer is we know they're down, but we don't know anything more about them, and that doesn't surprise me. Having been on the other side of IT before, when we've had a situation like that, we keep it totally quiet until we fully understand the impact and what they've got of us. We don't want to give anybody any more information than necessary. So thanks, John. Appreciate that. All right, W8VPV, do we have any other last check-ins? All right, Dan, let me dig out the announcements, and we'll run through this and wrap this up then. All right, I'll try to keep this brief and go through it pretty fast. Coming up, okay, first thing, officer nominations for the 2024-2025 club year are still open. All 5 positions, president, vice president, radio officer, secretary, treasurer, are all open. There's a link in the W8VPV News for You section of the website dated April 22nd, meaning you may have to scroll down to find it, for nominations. You may nominate any qualified club member, and you may nominate yourself. Just make sure that if you nominate somebody else, you've talked to them and they said, yes, go ahead and do it, I'm willing to serve. There's another link in the same section that will allow you to see who's currently nominated, and I think we have at least one person nominated for each position, but we certainly would like competition there. We want, if you want to help with the club, we definitely want you in there. Nominations will close immediately prior to June 12th, and the new slate of officers will take their positions immediately after the vote. This Saturday, June 1st, CFARC will activate the O'Neill Woods area of Cuyahoga Valley National Park. This is being done in conjunction with at least 4 other Northeast Ohio area ham clubs who are activating other park areas, and we encourage you to come out and get involved. Setup starts about 11:30 a.m. and operations run from 1 to 5 p.m. It's an excellent opportunity for newer hams to socialize, gain operating experience, and get used to portable operations. We'll be providing stations, shelter, food, drinks, and the park has nearby restrooms, so basically show up and plan to have some fun. In order to provide the correct amount of food and drink required, please email Jim Berry at wa3jat@aol.com and let her know that you're going to be out there. The following Sunday, or this immediately following Sunday, June 2nd, the club's Board of Governments, that's the officers and 3 trustees, will meet at 5:30 p.m. local time via a Zoom conference link. The link can be found in the calendar section of the club website, and club members and all other interested parties are invited and encouraged to sit in and contribute their ideas for the club's summer activities. We want to know what you want us to do. We can't really go anywhere without your input. I don't have a full agenda of the meeting, but I'm sure field day will be discussed. This is your opportunity to give us advice and guidance. So please sign in and sit in and let us know what you'd like to see. Sunday, June 9th is the Breeze Shooters Hamfest in Butler, Pennsylvania. Like so many other hamfests, it suffered a serious decline during COVID, but has struggled to recover. Last year's event was significantly larger than the previous year, and very good actually. So I'm looking forward to going again this year. It is one of the bigger hamfests in the area, so if you haven't been to one yet as a new ham, I encourage you to attend. It's back to its original location. I hate to say it for lack of other information, but it's the place with the one single runway airport. All right, Monday, June 10th, the club will hold a VE test session for all licensed hams at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. Pre-registration is required, and registration will shut down at 10 a.m. Sunday, June 9th. So please be to the library by about 6:15. Monday to complete enrollment. The test will start promptly at 6:30. Wednesday, June 12th, will be our June activity meeting. We'll be holding officer elections, both online and the last of the onlines and in person. We'll be discussing field day plans and probably have some other updates about the club's activities and what's happening this summer. Please try to attend. We'd appreciate it to see you in person, but if you can't make it in person, certainly online via Zoom. Again, the link's in the club calendar. Saturday and Sunday, June 22nd, 23rd is Field Day. We'll be operating at Stowe's Silver Springs Park in a multi-station, multi-mode configuration using single sideband, FT8, digital, and CW. This is an excellent opportunity for new hams to see lots of radios, lots of antennas, lots of setup techniques, problem circumvention, and in general get some on-the-air ham radio experience. And the food's not too bad either. I urge you to mark your calendar and plan to attend both on the air and supporting the effort. There's a link to the sign-up page, and again in the W8VPV News for You section. I believe it's dated April 30th, so you may have to scroll down to find it. And looking ahead, you can again expect monthly meetings on July 10th, August 14th, and we plan to hold our club picnic probably at Waterworks Park on August 28th. Again, a fun time, and usually some radio will show up somewhere there. All right, that's all the announcements I have. We'll ask once more for check-ins, and if not, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Do we have any last check-ins?
W3X with some further information about the ARRL.
Go ahead, John, and I hope, Ken, you're listening. Go ahead, John.
The additional information given during the AriesNet was that there was no credit card information or other personal information attacked or whatever you call it. So that is all still safely in place. Just the Learning Center and the Logbook of the World are down. So with that, back to the net, this is W3X.
Thanks, John. Who cares about my credit card? What about my online log? How can I live without that?
Yeah.
Very good. Appreciate that information. At least that's a little bit of relief. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into the Logbook of the World, so hopefully they'll be able to recover that then. All right, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're going to wrap this up then, and keep in mind we do have an HF+6 band exploration net. Chance to check out your radio and antennas and make sure it works on the various bands. Tonight's will be on 80 meters, and we'll talk about that in just a second. In preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank at W8EZT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. And of course, we're always looking for net control operators. If you want to learn a lot of ham radio call signs quickly and overcome your mic fright, I encourage you to sit down and join me behind the mic here, and we'll get you on the air and make you a net check-in. Anyway, we will now close this net with, whoops, I forgot to count. And it's not going to be a mini night tonight. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17 check-ins, myself included. Kind of a light net, but understandably with the holidays, totally understandable. We'll now close this net with 17 check-ins and return the repeaters to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:20 p.m. local time, 73 everyone. And again, we expect to have our HF+6 net tonight on 80 meters at 3.827 or thereabouts. We'll announce it again on this repeater immediately before the net starts. This is W8VPV. Thanks, and 73, folks.
AKB test. Okay, that's not it. AKB clear.
KF8 EBD Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Victor Delta. Calling for Ted that was just on the net.
Port link off. W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.